Hey Seahawks, welcome to another edition of Teal TV's Seahawks Central News. I'm Kara Trotter.
And I'm Yan Wang. Special shout out to all the internet surfers out there watching us on YouTube.
Don't worry, cable watchers, we still love you. Seahawks Central News starts right now. An acclaimed Latin dance group will be hosting a 2-week residency on our campus. Contra Tiempo is a Los Angeles-based dance company mixing salsa, hip-hop, and African music. Their 2-week stay will include free film screenings, panel discussions, and salsa workshops. Their stay will conclude with a live performance in Keenan Auditorium on Saturday, October 2nd. Tickets are free to students, and all information on the performance and the list of events can be found on the UNCW website.
For the second year in a row, UNCW has been placed on the GI Jobs Top Military-Friendly Schools list. According to GI Jobs, this list honors the top 15% of colleges, universities, and trade schools, which are doing the most to embrace veterans as students. From fall 2009 to fall 2010, UNCW saw almost a 250% increase in the number of active military duty students. The award from GI Jobs comes on the heels of receiving awards from both Forbes magazine and U.S. News.
UNCW's Lumina Theater will host the New York Metropolitan Opera this year. According to UNCW News, 12 live transmissions will take place from the Met's 2010-2011 season. This showcase is sponsored by UNCW's Osher Lifelong Learning Institute and the Music Department. Shows start Saturday, October 9th and are $15 for students. A full schedule of the 12 performances can be found on the news section of the UNCW website.
The campus signed a new energy contract this past week. According to UNCW News, the contract guarantees more than $300,000 in annual energy savings. That totals to just under $9 million in savings over the contract's 20-year span. According to the contract, Trane Comfort Solutions assumes the financial risk of the project. This guarantees that if savings projections aren't reached, Trane will cut the school a check, making up the difference. This new plan enables a $4.5 million upgrade to mechanical and lighting systems in 10 campus buildings. Solar tubes to Randall Library, reduction of water consumption, new temperature controls, and equipment upgrades are all part of the university's commitment to environmental responsibility. We got a chance to catch up with former sophomore president and new student body vice president, Sammy Pisano. Our Debbie Patton has the interview.
I'm here with the newly appointed Vice President of the Student Government Association, Sammy Pisano. Thanks for joining us today, Sammy.
Oh, you're welcome.
So, how does it feel to be the new Vice President?
It's actually really cool. I mean, I know I'm a sophomore, but it's definitely probably one of the most humbling experiences. I've been working hard as I came in as a freshman to try to just make my mark on the campus and the university, and it's starting to happen a lot quicker than I expected.
So do you have any goals that you want to accomplish for next year at all?
Something that I've actually on a personal level thought about is getting more of a relationship with our constituents, because as student government we're supposed to be representing all of the students, and I don't feel like we have that connection quite yet. And on really critical issues we'll go out and seek out the students' opinions, but I don't think we do it as often as we should. And developing that relationship would be really beneficial to our organization as a whole.
Do you have any ideas for how to do that to connect with your constituents?
I mean, a lot of it's on us. We as the exec board and the senators, they just need to take the time to go out and just start meeting people. I mean, not everybody's an extrovert and is going to be able to just make that conversation, but it's part of our job, and maybe that's something that we all need to work on.
How are you getting along with Matt Victory, president? Because you weren't his original vice president. Is that going well?
Well, Matt had a lot of confidence in me before I was appointed, and so since I was the next choice, it was pretty cool because we've already had a good relationship anyways, and we kind of just I just stepped into the role gracefully, and everybody's just been really nice about it. And plus Matt, like he knows his politics, and so if there's something that I don't quite understand, he's going to explain it on my level, so I'm not just asking questions and everything. But for the most part, it hasn't even really been that big of an issue.
When did you find out that you were going to take Jenna's place as VP?
Well, it was probably about a week before. The idea came up amongst the advisors and, of course, Jenna and Matt, and they were trying to take the time to make sure that before we make a decision, it's going to be the best decision for Jenna, for student government, and the university as a whole. And I guess when my name got thrown in there, I was kind of shocked for a little bit, but when I realized that my name was being called, then I just had to step up.
I know that last year there was a bill put forward to student government about changing the GPA requirements for the executive board members, and that it got turned down. Do you think this is something you might want to look into again in light of recent circumstances?
Honestly, in my opinion, I think it has been looked at in the past, and it's something that we could possibly take a look at, but not necessarily make any rash decisions, or we don't need to form a new policy based on the situation that just passed. If the members of the body get together and really feel like this is something we want to change, maybe we'll go that route. But
that's awesome. Is there any particular way that students can reach you if they have any questions?
We're updating the student government webpage, and so it's got my email on there, and soon I'll have business cards so I can hand those out, and I have I've got an office phone in the SGA office that you can reach me directly at.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Sammy, and best of luck in the upcoming year.
Thank you.
Yan and Kara, back to you.
And now, let's jump over to Sarah Lively with the Weekend Weather Watch. Sarah?
Thanks, Kara. Good evening. I'm Sarah Lively. Let's jump right into weather. We've got a lot to cover tonight. Obviously, the top story this past weekend has been the active Atlantic Ocean. Hurricane Danielle sent insane waves and rip currents to our coast last weekend. Several people had to be pulled by lifeguards for drifting too far out in the water. This weekend looks to be a repeat of last. Powerful Hurricane Earl, while remaining well offshore, is creating rip currents, large swells, and dangerous undertows across the Carolina beaches. This will gradually subside as the storm pulls away later this weekend. However, people should stay out of the water for their own safety until this danger is past. If you choose to go in the water, make sure you use extreme caution. However, this is Labor Day weekend, so many people will be traveling to get in their last trips for summer. Students who will be staying in Wilmington to soak up the sun should expect lots of it, as temperatures Friday will reach a high of 96 degrees and in the morning with a low of 74. On Saturday, it will be 90 with a low of 66, and Sunday, the high will be 85 and low of 65. For those of you going to Charlotte, Friday will have a high of 95 with a low of 66. Temperatures will take a dip on Saturday with a morning low of 59. It will bounce back up, though, to 86 degrees. On Sunday, there will be a high of 85 and low of 60. Sunshine is forecasted for the entire weekend, so make sure you include lots of outdoor plans for your weekend activities. In Greenville, it will be mostly sunny Friday with a high temperature of 93 and a low of 71. Saturday morning will feel comfortable with a low of 62 and a high of 88. On Sunday, it will be 84 and the low 64. This weekend is also kickoff for college football. Too bad Wilmington doesn't have a football team, but in the meantime, we'll just have to settle cheering for our nearby schools. The NC State Wolfpack will start this season against the Western Carolina Catamounts with a 6 o'clock p.m. kickoff. Temperatures should feel great for fans, around 80 to start out the game. You might want to bring a light jacket towards the end of the game if you plan on attending. That wraps it up for this weather. Hope everyone has a fun Labor Day weekend. Yan and Kara, back to you. Thanks, Sarah. This past week, the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute opened a new facility. Our very own staff was on the scene to bring you the story.
Wednesday marked a big day for the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute. OLLI offers educational opportunities to people over 50 in the Wilmington community and surrounding areas. The new facility was presented in front of a large crowd, where Chancellor DePaulo and Thomas Barth, Interim Vice Chancellor of Public Service and Continuing Studies, spoke.
You know, one of the things that we've been so impressed with is the demographics of this community. We have so many vibrant seasoned people in this community who want to engage in lifelong learning, engage our faculty and our students, and just keep in the learning process, and just having a building they can call home.
In just over a decade, Ollie's membership has risen from 100 to almost 1,500 members. It is one of 120 Osher institutes across America. With growth like that, it was only a matter of time before they got their own building. The ribbon was cut and ice cream and cake was served while the attendees toured the new facility. Ollie member Celia Strauss comments on what this addition means to the Ollie community.
After 9 years to have our own building is just something we really talked about. My husband and I were on Carol Dutton's board for 3 years, and this was talked about many years ago, and now it's happened, and we're all just thrilled to have our own building.
The 3,200 square foot facility offers a large classroom equipped with an HD projector and sound system. Additionally, the new space holds offices for staff, small conference rooms for meetings, and more importantly, ample parking and easier access for community participants.
This gives them dedicated space, easy parking, they can get to it easily, they don't have to weave their way around students on campus, so it's a lot safer for everyone involved, and they can be sure that when they need a class, this building will be here for them, and they're using, the scheduling shows that they're going to use it constantly.
As you can see from the turnout today, Ollie has become an integral part of not only the campus community, but the Wilmington community as well, and it will continue to grow much like our campus. I'm Chris Vickery reporting, Seahawks Central News, Teal TV.
Yan, how excited are you about the release of the 2010-2011 basketball schedules?
Kara, I was literally sitting at home all summer waiting for these schedules to come out, but the wait is finally over. And enough about what we have to say about it.
True. Let's get over to Ben Tyson for the sports report. Ben?
Hello there. I'm Ben Tyson at the Seahawks Sports Desk with some late breaking news. Joe Browning reports that Special Assistant to the Athletic Director and former basketball head coach Benny Moss has resigned his employment at UNCW. Moss and the university have agreed to a settlement which will be drawn from an athletics fund balance account that is used for various needs that may arise. Athletic Director Kelly Mertens said, "We appreciate Coach Moss's service and wish him well going forward." This week there's a range of topics to cover, including soccer, volleyball, and the men's basketball CAA schedule. Well, we all know that preseason NFL games don't matter in the grand scheme of things. Unfortunately, neither do preseason UNCW men's football matches. The 17th ranked Seahawk men lost their second exhibition match in a row last Saturday to the Blazers of Alabama Birmingham 3-0. Junior keeper Brandon Miller split time with senior starter Brock Duckworth in the goal. Each played a half. Miller allowed 1 goal and 2 snuck by Duckworth. Hopefully the Seahawks footballers have gotten all the jitters out and are prepared for the true season opener at the Binghamton Bearcats on Friday. Coach Aiden Heaney didn't seem too worried when he commented, "We did some really nice things out there tonight. We need to be more creative, and we're able to. We created more chances for ourselves, and we're just a bit unlucky tonight. We tried some new things, and I'm happy with how the players responded." The Lady Seahawks notched their first win of the soccer season against the Francis Marion Patriots 4-0. Goals were scored first by Sarah Nealon, Erin Pardini struck the middle 2, and sophomore Allie Nagel scored her first collegiate goal to round things out. The shutout goes to junior keeper Chandler Follett. The Seahawks volleyball team beat North Carolina A&T before losing to Appalachian State at the High Point Classic on Saturday. The 3-0 win over A&T was led by freshman Samantha Seifert's 13 kills. The volleyball team faces off against Central Florida this Friday at 7 p.m. in Hanover Gym here on campus. And finally, in basketball news, the Colonial Athletic Association men's conference schedule was announced this week, and the Seahawks begin their conference season at George Mason on December 4th. And their first home conference game will be January 5th against Georgia State. So go ahead and mark your calendars accordingly. That's all for sports. Kara, back to you.
Thanks, Ben. Stellar work out there at the sports desk.
I know, if only we were that cool.
Yeah, and we are that cool. We are that cool. Well, that wraps it up for this edition of Seahawks Central News. Tune in again next week, 8 o'clock, Channel 5 off campus, Channel 77 on.
Or check us out on YouTube. Special thanks to UNCW TV and the Communication Studies Department. Until next week, I'm Yan Wang.
And I'm Kara Trotter saying so long, Seahawks.